MerseyGirls. Welcome back to the third episode of
BeHeard
with MerseyGirls.
So thank you all so much for all the support you've given us. We really, really appreciate it. And we're so proud of every single one of you who spoke out and sent in your stories, because we do know how hard that really must have been. So keep going.
And before we start, I just wanted to point out this amazing a great start. This amazing artwork that people have sent in to us. So you can tag hashtag BeHeardMG in your posters so you can get featured. Okay, so basically, since today's topic is self-image and body image, we're going to be taking off our makeup live on camera. So this is a huge thing for us, so we're just going to do it.
Someone actually sent us a story saying that they feel like makeup allows them to hide their insecurities, which we totally relate to, because if you have a spot or a blemish, it makes you feel underconfident, and I suppose makeup helps that. So we're trying to show that it doesn't matter what you look like, and thank you, by taking off our makeup, it shows that we stand by you.
I don't think I've ever done a YouTube video about makeup on,
Neither
so
have I.
this is big.
I'm gonna look very tired.
No.
We understand that the type of things that we're saying to you are really hard. It's practice what you preach, and that's what we're trying to do. So.
Yeah.
Well, there's no point in us telling you to do all this if we can't do it
You were like,
ourselves.
speak out, you don't need to wear makeup.
We know
because you're
it is
beautiful.
hard.
So we're going to do it.
No.
Oh, don't do that.
Makeup off!
The spider catcher.
Yeah,
Don't get my head. I always feel really self-conscious if I have a spot.
Yeah,
So this is I never really show if I have a spot it out to these social media. So
Yeah, and that's kind of part of the problem, because people don't show their bad side and their good side, and that adds to the pressures of people.
That's airbrushing to make
Yeah.
the spots go.
So a lot of people got annoyed recently when a larger than usual model was put on the front cover of the Cosmopolitan magazine, and it just really made us talk about and think about how much pressure there is on people to conform to being what's considered the norm of society. And it's just really sad to think that there's so many pressures, especially on young people, to wear the right things, to wear the right makeup, to just fit in really, and that's just really lowering a lot of people's self-esteem and confidence.
yeah, social media is a huge thing, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of this pressure comes from social media and what is seen to be considered as ideal, but equally we're always being told what we should eat, how many portions of fruit and veg we need to be taking in, and it's always changing, so it's really hard to get it right.
Yeah, I think that it's really hard because you want to teach your friends, or even if you're an adult, your kids, to be healthy, but then you don't want to get it into their heads that you need to be healthy, so it's really hard to find the right balance of how to get them healthy.
Yeah, and I think with social media is you do see so many people, famous people who just look so perfect to you. I know how hard it can be to see other people looking amazing on social media, but we need to try and forget that and know that you're amazing just the way you are.
A really interesting quote that I saw on Instagram this week was that perfect girls aren't real. Oh wait, no, I can't remember it.
And real girls aren't perfect.
Yeah, perfect girls aren't real girls aren't perfect, and
That's
that
so
just
nice.
kind of
It's no one's
sums up.
perfect. Are they?
I really like
Yeah.
that. We've had many stories on self-image, and we didn't realise how popular it was going to be. So it made us think we really do need to discuss this, and we tried to all pick different stories that showed different ways that you guys have struggled with it. So we're all going to share some stories that we found. So does anyone want to go first?
I'll go first. So this person says, I used to be bullied because I was bigger. I hit puberty really young and gained weight quickly. And my dance teacher used to order in larger costumes for me. My best friend at the time's dad also used to make fun of me when I would go to their house for dinner, and the whole world, not the whole world, the whole family would laugh because she wasn't thin.
Wait, so another person's family, not
An
her
adult?
own family?
Yeah, not her own family.
So her best friend's dad.
Yeah,
So
and
as an
that's
adult.
their family.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
That's...
And then, so she actually developed anorexia from this and was in hospital for years trying to get better. And then she says, I am now nearly recovered and happy, but I will never forget the way people made me feel about myself because my body was bigger. I will always struggle with my body image, and I hope that people never pick on others because of their weight, because it ruins lives.
I feel like the dance teacher shouldn't have really made it a big deal that they needed to order a larger costume, because some people just are larger naturally, and like it's obvious you just get a larger costume. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. I don't think it's anyone else's like business. Like if you're happy in yourself, then that's all that matters, and if other people are making you unhappy, then that's not right at all. Like I disagree with that completely.
Especially like a different family and like different adults and stuff.
And adults as well.
But I also think some people don't realise that their words are actually like really hurtful. They don't realise it at the time until that person like says how affected they've been from it, and then they're like, oh, I like understand it now.
I guess that's true.
So like think about what you say, because you might not realise it, but it can.
That's so sad.
We do live in a very judgmental world where it's really hard to be yourself, and I think that is sad, isn't it?
So my story, so she's always been overweight and people always made little comments, but then her teacher, her old dance teacher, said you can't wear belly tops unless you have a flat stomach with a six-pack. And when she said that, she was wearing a crop top, so it made her feel like really targeted and like insecure. And so then she wanted to wear makeup all the time, but then she actually said here that she got embarrassed to wear makeup at the same time because she didn't want people to call her, she says, a slag. So it was like a lose-lose situation, because she wanted to wear it to feel better in herself, but then didn't want it to make other people feel bad. And now her main escape is dancing, which is amazing, street dance mainly, and she forget about all her stresses, but then when they video she feels really self-conscious, and when she watches it back she doesn't like how she looks. So she's, you know, dancing is one thing that helps her, but at the same time it's still hard.
And I think we all completely get that. Like I'd say we all compare ourselves. We watch a video back and go, that I felt like I was doing that so much better, and then you look at another person and think, why can't I be like them? Especially if you're a dancer.
Me and Poppy, like if there's a video, we watch every single person and we compare ourselves to them, like we need to try and do that.
And the other thing with being in the dance world is you're constantly looking in a mirror, which I know personally destroys me. Like I hate having to look in a mirror next to all these girls, but what like you and we all just need to realise is that we were born the way we are, and the way we are is amazing, and that's okay.
I like that.
So this is about someone who was diagnosed with scoliosis at age 11, and it completely changed her life and made her feel really self-conscious. So it made her want to quit dancing because she hated it so much. And then basically also she was really skinny, like me, and she always got called anorexic, which is like similar to me. People always used to call me anorexic, which I'm just naturally skinny and I couldn't help that. And people always told her that she should stand more straight because of her back and eat more. So like that was making her feel really upset, obviously. Then she had surgery which fixed the way her back looked, but then she had a scar that she was self-conscious of, so she wasn't happy about that. But I have a scar. I've got like 3 like scars, but you want me to... Okay. And I like love them like so much because it just like shows kind of what you've been through. So I'll show you my scars. So I have one here, I think. Can you see it? The little one.
I can see both of them.
And then I have one that goes all the way up there. Can you see? So that's like, and I've got a little one there somewhere. But like, I love my scars because it shows that you're a strong person, and people are like, whoa, look what they've been through, and they're still like here. So I think that it's like the scar-wise, you should just be proud of it because it shows like a journey and stuff like that.
Like something that you said earlier as well, that people called like too skinny and anorexic, is like something to pick up on, is you would never think to call someone too fat, but people feel it's okay to call people too skinny.
I
agree.
And it's just the same thing, and we need to try and like put a stop to that if we can.
Yeah, definitely, because like I can't help it, and most of us can't help it. Like we're skinny, but we still eat a lot.
Yeah.
So maybe she couldn't help it, and you know, maybe she wishes she was bigger, but you picking on it isn't gonna help.
No.
And like everyone always wants what they can't have, don't they? Like, but we need to appreciate ourselves instead.
Yeah. And also having like deformities, like say my back and your back, it doesn't change who you are, and that's what I realised, because these girls and my other friends like have treated me exactly the same as if I didn't have scoliosis, so it just doesn't change who you are at all.
So I have 2 little ones, and one of the stories is again a dancer, but she's got quite a muscular physique, and all the dance classes she went to, they were like full of slim and skinny girls, and she started to believe that that's what she had to look like to be a dancer, and she'd be like crying herself to sleep because her she thought she'd never be good enough because her legs weren't the same as everyone else, and her mum would like always, like, she spoke to her mum, which was good, and her mum would always like tell her like, you're fine and that you can still be successful with a muscular body, like there's nothing wrong with that at all. And she feels like the images shown of dancers is all slim and not much muscle to them. Specifically for young girls like her who may not know better, that you have to be successful the way, you have to be that way to be successful because all the people who she can see that are successful look that way, which, like, I completely get what you mean, and that's just all part of comparing yourself, which is what we all, I think, need to learn not to do, because I 100% look in a mirror, compare myself to every other person I can, but you're you for a reason, you were made for that reason, and you're perfect just the way you are.
I think you don't need a certain physique to be a good dancer.
No,
Definitely
it's
not.
not about that, yeah.
We're all so different, our shapes.
Yeah. And then there was one more story which I felt like I could relate to in some way. It was, she calls herself ugly and fat, this girl, and says that other people have called her fat and stuff, which, it's no one else's business, and just be proud of who you are, because I'm sure you're beautiful. It really affected her, and she was really hurt when people would repeatedly say it. They said that she can't wear certain clothes because she looks too fat, and now she tells herself that, and that she's way too ugly. And basically it's all just about, she thinks that she's fat and ugly because other people have said it. It's all about what's on the inside anyway, because I'm sure you're the most lovely person ever, and you're beautiful to us anyway, so I just thought that was like a message I needed to get across, so stay strong.
I like that. So 2 stories that stood out to me were a young girl who said that she's not very confident, as she feels that she's been judged the majority of her life due to a condition she has called cerebral palsy. Because of this, she got severely bullied, and she felt that she was ugly and fat, and that she just really didn't have enough confidence that she felt she needed to have. She would constantly judge herself and her legs in particular, and the way she walked, and she wanted people to know that this is a topic that really needs addressing because it's affecting a lot of people.
Yeah, we agree.
So that was...
But that's like another thing where it's like not her fault, do you know what I mean? Like, you can't help that you've got that, so I think you just need to remember, like, you can't help that, so just like feel good about yourself and embrace it, because it makes you different and it makes you unique, and that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
I'm coming out with all the like cheesy quotes today, but an original is worth far more than a coffee.
I like that one, I've seen that one.
You say that all the time, you said it yesterday.
I like that one.
But like, it's just another one about like a condition, and it's sad how people get bullied.
Yeah,
for like conditions like
differences.
Yeah.
We need to embrace difference because it's what makes our culture and society.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We don't want everyone to be the same. So another story that was sent in was that another girl was called a lot of names at school, mainly for her weight and also her teeth. She had a gap between her teeth, and a lot of people made fun of it. She tried to ignore it, but it was really hard because it was constantly happening, and the names she was getting called were really upsetting her, and it just really brought her confidence down a lot. And kind of linking to a topic we discussed recently with bullying, she said if she went to the teachers, she was worried she would get called a snitch. And like, we were trying to address that situation in our last video, so make sure to check that out. But the thing about the teeth, like, that is something I picked out because I can really relate to that, because I've got a gap in my teeth, and a lot of people say they like it, but like, I'm quite self-conscious about that, and sometimes I smell my like mouth closed, and I'm trying to get braces for that. But definitely just try to embrace it and know that I'm sure there's a lot of other things that people would love to have that you have, and it just makes you maybe a bit quirky, but that's amazing.
Yeah, I know so many, like when I watch shows, so many models that have a gap in their teeth and they're really successful.
Like, sometimes being quirky is like the best thing,
Yeah.
because you and no one else can be you.
So the big question is, like, what can we do about this though? Because we're always getting shown people on TV or magazines or social media who, you know, we think look better than us, and we're always going to be comparing ourselves to them.
Yeah.
And I think that being healthy is good until, like, being obsessed with being healthy, that's not healthy anymore. So one time me and Poppy, like, we were eating healthy, and we're like so competitive, so we were like trying to like be healthy, and you know, because we're dancers and stuff. And then my sister told our parents then it could be stopped, because if it went further it could have been like dangerous for us. So I think that especially when you're being healthy, you might not realise that it can actually be dangerous. So
Yeah.
it's really hard to find the right balance.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's good to be healthy, but not to go too far.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, I'm not sure about you, but like with you were like counting your calories, and I was just like, it's okay to like try and eat healthy, like eat your fruit and eat like a balanced diet, but to be
Yeah.
counting your calories in the shop is a bit worrying because you don't need to worry about
Yeah, like I think
stuff like
it
that.
might be good if you like are healthy in the week, and then on the weekend like you can treat yourself.
Yeah,
Have
definitely.
chocolate and have crisps and stuff like that, because you need to have a treat. Like
Sugar's
this stuff are
important.
good.
Yeah.
I have a treat on a daily basis.
Me too, Becky. Me
So-
too.
Maybe more than one.
But yeah, I completely agree that you do need to try and eat healthy, but don't get too like drawn into it because you don't need to be obsessed about it at all.
Yeah,
Definitely treat yourself.
We were trying to think of ways in which we could try and increase people's self-confidence and self-esteem. So did you have any ideas?
I thought of like having like weekly lessons in school, maybe like positive thinking, so like loving yourself and knowing that it's okay to be different because we all come in like different shapes and sizes, and that's completely okay. So like if you just had lessons in school like once a week, it might like start to actually get into people's brains like they're amazing just the way they are.
In
so-
college, we had one with the like counsellor, and it was about like self-confidence, and it actually made me realise like she was like, people only actually care like about themselves and what they look like. So like half the time they're probably not even looking or are worried like what you look like. They're just concerned about themselves. So that's something that helped me in dance class. That I was just like, they only care what they look like, so it doesn't matter what I look like as long as I try my best.
Yeah. Do you think maybe, like, because on Instagram there's like an editing feature where you can edit photos, lots of editing apps, maybe if they were taken away that would stop the need for people to try and be perfect?
Possibly, I think that could be.
That was something that I would not like. Like I would get worried about that, but it obviously would help.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
think
Yeah, and I think like to start with, I think that like magazines and people like that should stop airbrushing their photos
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
much, because that's just like it's
That's
not
so
realistic.
Like
at all.
to a point, like yeah, I get it. Like edit it to make the picture look better because I
Like
know
the
like
lighting.
Nathan
Yeah,
like
the
let
light.
us see a picture editing it, but with the airbrushing it goes too
When you
far.
actually like change the shape of their body, like that's not right.
without their permission as well sometimes, and
Yeah.
it's like. But there's also like I know like I've gone to like get an app, but you had to
Yeah.
pay for it, so that stopped me from getting it. So I think maybe if more apps
Yeah.
were like to be paid for, then
That's a good
that
idea.
could stop people.
Yeah.
Maybe.
This is such a big topic and we could only brush through it quickly in this episode, but we hope by speaking about it, it might have reached at least one of you who maybe feels that they're worthless, to let you know that you aren't. We love you all and we think you're all beautiful and you should just try to be yourself, really.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a nice message.
So quite a lot of people have asked us to cover the the topic of abusive relationships. This doesn't just have to be romantic relationships, it can be family relationships and friendships that have been quite destructive and controlling as well. So if you've got a story, then you can use the hashtag BeHeardMG and send us your stories on any social media platforms. But we do get quite a lot of messages, so make sure you do use the hashtag BeHeardMG so it doesn't get lost within our other messages.
Thank you so much for listening, guys, and make sure to check out our other weekly video called #ChallengeMerseyGirls, where we compete I can't speak.
It's just been like a mess.
We've had a long day. Where we compete in crazy challenges set by you guys in hope of being crowned the ultimate Mersey girl, and that's on a Wednesday night, and that's called #ChallengeMerseyGirls. That's all from us. So yeah.
Bye guys. Keep smiling. Keep shining.